A new MMO has been announced. Dimensional Ink Studios has gone public saying that they are working to bring the Marvel universe to this genre. That's right, we're getting a Marvel MMO. Let's talk about it. Hello and welcome. My name is CodeYo. I make survival, crafting, and MMO content. If you'd like to stay up to date on all of your MMO news, slap that subscribe button, sucker punch that notification bell, and let's get to it. Dimensional Ink Studios has announced this upcoming Marvel MMO. While we don't know much about the title itself yet, let's go over what we do know. First off, we know the team behind it. Dimensional Ink Studios is the team behind DC Universe Online, a free-to-play superhero-themed online game set in the DC Universe. It's available on a multitude of platforms, including the Nintendo Switch, which is notorious for not really having much of an MMO market, which gives me reason to think that this will be a cross-platform game, or at least one that's available on multiple platforms. You might better recognize Dimensional Ink Studios as being one of the three divisions of Daybreak Games, the company currently behind larger and successful online titles such as EverQuest, both 1 and 2, PlanetSide, H1Z1, which I always forget exists, and a handful of others. They're also currently the publishers of Lord of the Rings Online and have been since the acquisition from Warner Bros. Back in 2016. The project is being led by Jack Emmert, or Emmert, I'm not really certain. If you're familiar with the name, then you can probably understand why him being tied to this is kind of promising. To give you a bit of background on him, he is the co-founder of Cryptic Studios, where he worked on City of Heroes and City of Villains, which are one of my all-time favorite MMOs. I say one of my all-time because it's kind of the same game, they were just two opposing factions. That game still provides one of the most unique experiences out there in the genre, in my opinion. So fast forward a bit, he's currently the CEO of Daybreak Games. He's had this title since 2016 and has been responsible for leading the development and direction of DC Universe Online. He's had a very long history with MMOs, and more specifically and potentially more importantly, ones that revolve around superheroes and superpowers. So hopefully this niche experience will be apparent in the project, since that could definitely make him a valuable asset here. So the game itself. Interestingly enough, this isn't the first time the game has been announced. The most recent announcement was back in 2018, but the studio was soon hit with multiple rounds of layoffs, and then the game went quiet. No more news on development, or confirmation on whether or not the game had been scrapped or would continue production. It's hard to say if they've been quietly working behind the scenes this whole time, or if this is them revamping the idea now that their company is more stabilized. And then before that, 10 years prior, back in about 2006, a Marvel MMO project was announced at a Microsoft press conference. It was to be an Xbox 360 and PC exclusive title, developed and published by Cryptic Studios while Jack Emmert was still working there. This project was scrapped sometime in 2008 and seemed to have been put on the back burner indefinitely. Hopefully this time around they stick to it and deliver, and I'm optimistic to say that they do. So what do we know about the game itself? Quite frankly, not a lot. The only thing that we really have is the announcement itself, as well as some concept art that was released back before the project was initially scrapped, in about 2018-2019. So it's very unlikely that this is actually representative of anything in the game moving forward. We don't have any footage, we don't know anything about the game mechanics, the focus, the format, or anything in that nature. And it's very likely that it hasn't even been decided on yet. This project is seemingly very early into production, so it's realistic to say that we are not going to hear much from this title for maybe another year or so. And at that point, we're probably at least 2 years out from release. What we can assume though is that the systems that we've seen in both DC Universe Online and the City of Heroes and Villains titles will hopefully make a return in a more polished and expanded upon manner. This means the ability to freely design your own hero, both physically customize their appearance and also tweak their abilities and powers to your liking. Things like flying around, running upside buildings, flinging around objects with kinetics, or just blowing people up with fireballs. It's all very likely a possibility. But for now, it's mostly speculation. But that doesn't mean it's not fun to wonder. What do you think? What would you like to see in this upcoming title? Let me know down below. If you want to stay up to date with MMO and gaming news, remember to slap that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. That's all for this video, guys. I hope to see you very soon. Peace.